Friday, May 22nd. The country is reopening, and many companies are releasing guidelines to their employees that include some new work rules and regulations, and they are addressing issues that are very important to the company and to the employees. Most of these issues will deal with health and safety. And many companies are reducing the hazard pay that they have been giving employees for working on the front lines. And there are many companies that are extending the hazard pay. So I understand there are changes going to happen in the world, and it's important for us to understand what's going on. So it really disturbed me when this reopening is not one of the top items in the news. Instead, I see Lori Loughlin and Massimo Giannulli. And why am I seeing them in the news? Because they have decided to plead guilty to conspiracy charges in connection with securing the fraudulent admission of their two daughters, Olivia Jade and Isabella Giannulli, to the University of Southern California as purported athletic recruits. Well, they signed this guilty agreement on Wednesday. I don't blame them for signing this agreement. They were staring at 50 years in jail for all the charges that they had lined up against them. So I don't blame them for signing the agreement. They got off easy. Now, this was a clear case of lying and deceit because the kids were not athletes at all and they signed up as being rowers. Okay, I didn't even know that Southern California had a rowing team, but they have one. I know them as a big football team. I don't even know what's so important about going to Southern California. It's a good school. I think it's ranked number 22 in the country. And it's $75,000 a year to go there. And they paid $500,000 in bribes to get their children into USC school. $500,000. Now, that's a lot of money. And is it so important to graduate from the University of Southern California? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, it has a good reputation. It's probably a good school. It's number one in a couple of different things. Probably is. If you go there, you got a good shot at making money in Hollywood, maybe. Anyhow, under the terms of the agreement, Lori Loughlin is going to receive a sentence of 2 months in prison and a $150,000 fine, and 2 years of supervised release with 100 hours of community service. She signed a paper that said it admits that she committed the crime, doing so knowingly and intentionally, and is in fact guilty of that offense. Now, Giannulli's agreement states that he will serve 5 months in prison and pay a $250,000 fine and have 2 years of supervised release with 250 hours of community service. Both of these agreements are subject to the court's approval. Now, why wouldn't the court approve this stuff? I mean, this is not a dangerous crime. It's a terrible thing to do, but it's not a dangerous crime. So why will the court have any problem with that? I have no idea. I have no idea why this is even in the news. With everything else that's going on in the world, why do they print these kinds of things? Probably because there are people that are interested in reading this. There are a lot of people that like these gossipy columns and things like that. Here's another reason why people might read this thing. It's a break from all the crap that's going on about the virus. It's one of the few things I've seen that doesn't pertain to the virus, and it doesn't pertain to Trump, and it doesn't pertain to Biden, and it doesn't pertain to when we're going to open the schools and when we're going to close the schools and what are we going to do about transportation and all of those other ugly things that we have been talking about. So maybe it's good to have a story like this, even though this is a pretty terrible example of what can go on when you have money And when you think that your pure, beautiful children need a certain kind of lifestyle to survive. I mean, what would have happened to these kids if they went off to the public schools? California has a good public school system. What would happen to them? They don't have anything to worry about. Their parents are rich. They go out and do something good in the world and go someplace and meet some people that are not necessarily in their same class. Would that be a terrible thing? No, I don't think so. I know many people who could have gone to great schools, but they couldn't afford it. I'm talking about time when I went to school and it was free, and somebody went to a great school, it cost $15 a credit, not $75,000 a semester. You know, they were not the only parents that did this. There were over 50 people involved in these schemes. Parents, coaches, administrators, Lori's peer actress Felicity Huffman was among those who pleaded guilty. So this was a big scheme going on. This is not just a one-time shot, you know. So this article is like a bit of relief, some light news because of everything else that's going on, you know. Article, but I was really tired of getting beat up with the coronavirus and Trump's lies and Biden's non-existence in this race, you know. And so this is sort of like light news, and I give it to you that way. They pleaded guilty. They got off really cheap in my mind. So I believe this was a shock when many people first heard about this. And if you think about our society and everything, there are people who are always looking for an edge. And that doesn't stop at the college door, doesn't stop in business, doesn't stop in government. People have something that other people want, and they make deals. And that's what happened here. So I think life will go on, and soon everything will be opened up, and we'll be worrying about other things. And I leave you with that thought. Bye.